What's going on? How y'all doing? Great. Doing great.
Lost a big piece of the defensive puzzle this week. I guess just from a general perspective, how do you kind of make things work without him? Part of that group going forward.
Yeah, losing Jawan, obviously, a leader, captain, a guy that, really played on all, three phases and special teams, two for us. For us as a defense, and we talked about this really every single week because throughout the season, it's hard to say like you're never going to lose a player, or whether it's for a week or for a season. So we always preach everybody knowing what to do, how to do it, staying ready, that next man up mentality. But obviously that leadership piece too is what you're really lacking as far as when you're talking about from a guy who can, speak to the team and speak to the defense. So from a performance standpoint, hopefully we can pick that up, within that linebacker position.
Coach, what have you seen from Juwan Jennings on tape?
Juwan, oh my goodness. This guy, I mean, he can do everything. Like strong, good at the top of the route. All right, obviously you saw like last week he was the go-to guy. I mean, for me, like all their players are go-to guys, all of them. All right, you can't just count, Debo. You can't just count you just can't, like he's a go-to guy too. And if you just let him just do what he do, and he's good at route running, he's good within their system. He finished plays, make people break tackles, all that. I got a much respect for him for what he do.
The last 2 weeks, it seems in high-level situations, teams have sort of felt that the pressure was coming, or the simulated pressure, and have been able to handle it. I know every play is different, but when you look back on it, are there some commonalities as to why maybe there have been breakdowns in those situations?
Yeah, I think, when you look at the combination, it is really us, like we talked about, it was letting the quarterback out the pocket, all right, and us not tackling. So I don't think from that was really the execution part from an NEP. I don't think it was a scheme part of like them knowing what's coming. It's all right, we're there, and you let the quarterback out the pocket. So like, all right, you got the quarterback. We have the quarterback. Like we're there, and then let them out the pocket. So, and each week is different for game planning wise from team to team. All right, we plan on doing our job and executing the right way this week.
Marcus, how would you assess Christian Gonzalez's performance over the first 3 weeks?
Good. He's doing what we asked him to do. So he's stepping up to whatever challenge we ask him to do. And so hopefully continue to do that. And he's a guy that puts his head down every single day, and he works, he studies, he's in the playbook, he studies his opponent, he, route combinations, everything like that, route concepts. So he's everything, you want as a coach.
Marcus, I think Devon Godshot and Daniel Quale both on pace for career highs in snaps. Have they responded to a higher workload, and is there been any thought to reducing the workload?
Yeah, and I've talked to those players about that, and they have, as far as we need them, extra conditioning and stuff like that, making sure they're ready, and it really is, again, 60 minutes. So we need them to be ready in that fourth quarter too, just the same way they are in the first quarter. And then also that, with that being said, so they don't have to take that many snaps. All right, the other players, behind them, or the other players that's in that room, all right, needs to, bring their level of game up where we can continue to rotate those guys and keep everybody fresh.
Marcus, understanding every game is different. How have you seen your last two opponents adjust to a common strategy you've had of Christian shadowing most of the time their number one receiver? How are they adjusting to that?
Yeah, I think when you take away a guy, obviously the other guys need to be ready, and so it gives the other receivers opportunity to make plays or be a high targeted player for the week. So that's really what teams do, or depend on what are you doing for early down. So I think for us it's just like stopping whatever that opponent does for that week and trying to make sure we handle that, hit our checklist and our goals. And if that's taking away a certain player and making another player beat us, that's what it is.
Coach, it looks like in some of your simulated pressures, Daniel Quale's kind of been put in a tough spot where he's asked to be the guy who's keeping the quarterback contained. I wonder, how do you kind of balance wanting to show those different looks and switch things up with also, kind of those tougher situations for defense?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's not. I wouldn't put that on Daniel. I would say let's just put that on the defense, and you can put that on me.
How would you describe yesterday. It seemed like a significant day for the defense in full pads.
Yeah.
Given some of the things you talked about, working on tackling, keeping the quarterback in the pocket, going to practice and that, did they respond to this?
Yeah, I thought yesterday was a good work day for us. Work day Wednesday. Talk about bringing our hard hat to work, and only day in pads. Got to work on our run fundamentals, and then we know that it's a team that wants to run the football, that likes to run the football. So it was good for us working our run fits, our alignments, our assignments, our communication up front. Overall, I thought those guys did a good job for us, the game plan and attacking the day.
What about Kyle Duggar making the right hand, kind of filling that role as captain on this team, just from what you've seen?
Yeah. So with captain, with Kyle being named the captain, I would say only thing he was missing just was the C. Like, that's really it. For him, he's been a leader, and I think all of us can lead in our own way and be a leader. And so for our football team, I would say really past 3 years or so, he's been a leader on our defense without being a captain. And I do believe there's leaders on the team, and you don't have to be a captain. So that's how I look at it, and that's for him. And now he just got that stamp of approval and put that C on his chest. And that's how we view him as a coaching staff, and that's how his players view him, as his peers and in the locker room. So I'm happy for him, proud of him. He definitely well deserved, and then I know he's going to represent it in the right way.
DeMarcus says you studied Kyle Shanahan this week, and if anything, you might have taken from 4 years ago when they came in here. What have you learned about him as a play caller, how he sequences, now that you've looked at him again?
I would say with Shanahan, this just don't go back to just years. This is decades of an offense that was built over time. So, when you can look back from when his dad ran the offense, and the coaching tree that he has, throughout the NFL, and the way they, I have mad respect for the way that they run their offense, the style that they do it, and the running game, the complements, the motions, the passing game, everything they do off of it. And so I would think, to me, it's a great scheme that they've come up with over decades, not just the past 4 years, the last time we played them. You can go back to, 10 years when, he was probably a quarterback's coach or, OC somewhere, Washington or all that. So that's what it is for me, and I'm excited to play against him.
So with a player like Juwan going out, do you have to change some of the run mechanics for you guys, since he's such a unique player when it comes to taking on blocks and things like that?
Yeah, I don't think you have to change anything. You just have to put a point of emphasis on making sure we have everything right and making sure we're doing it right. So you're not changing anything. Nothing changes, as far as with him going out. Again, it's just making sure we continue to execute the way he was executing, and making sure we continue to communicate like he was communicating. So there's no drop-off level. And so you spend that extra time with those players who's going to be communicating for us, all right, making sure we know exactly what we're looking for to do. And what it doesn't matter what I see. All right, it's really what they see and on the field, because I can sit there and all right, this is coming, but it really doesn't matter. I'm not out there playing. So it's about us as a coaching staff making sure we get those players in the right position and getting them seeing the game the right way.
DeMarcus, in anticipation of Maku and Taki returning at some point soon, hopefully, what will they provide your defense?
Well, fresh legs for sure, right? So I would say, with Tay and with Taki, the reason why we signed Taki is because all the things he did in Cleveland. And then Tay, I thought he was having a great spring. He had great off season, and then now, I think hopefully for us, he continued to go in the direction we want, making that year 2 leap. He was year 1 last year. All right, hopefully he brings the element where he can play on first, second, third down, and special teams for us. So we'll see when they get out there to practice. I do know that both of those guys can help this football team from a defensive standpoint and a special team standpoint. So once they get out there at practice, we'll figure out the right places to put them. And if they can help us win football games, they'll be out there.
Marcus, I know you're focused on your guys when you guys are practicing, but I'm curious just what you could tell us about the look that Drake has given you when he's been around the scout team, what you've noticed about how he's challenged you guys.
Yeah. Say, for me, Drake has improved every day, every week. He's improved, from the first day he's got in here. And so I think he's earning the trust and respect from his teammates. And so, and which is good, and what you need him to do. And then we ask every player to do that, try to improve every day, try to be better than what you was yesterday. And I think that's what he's working towards that. I can't speak offensively what he's doing or like is he making the right reads and all that stuff. I let them do that. But I do know that it seems like he's improving on a week-to-week and day-to-day basis.
DeMarcus, in light of production, especially in light of the production the Jets got from the tight end position, when you look at San Francisco, assuming Kittle is out there this Sunday, and even if he's not, what they get from that position plus what they do with this trip, how does that complicate things for you as you're talking to those two defensive guys?
Yeah, both of those guys are great players, and I feel like we got good players in Cal Duggar and Peppers and and Hawkins to get the job done too. They obviously provide a good combination of run game and pass game. That's what makes them so both of those two guys so good, and they can line up in any spot, backfield, tight end, out there wide. All right, which is they're probably one of the best in the league. Period. Both of those guys. And I feel confident in our safeties, and I think we probably have some of the best safeties in the league ourselves too. So I think it's going to be a good matchup. We talked about it. I feel like they're a physical team, we're a physical team, and that's what I'm expecting on Sunday. I'm expecting a physical game for 60 minutes, and they'll take some blows, we'll take some blows, and we'll see where it ends. After 60 minutes plus whatever it takes to get the job done. So that's what I'm expecting: a physical game, run game, pass game. All right, and hopefully that's what we get. Thank you.